afternoon, dear students. Welcome back to history class. So last class we have started the new chapter, Kingdoms, Kings and an Early Republic. Today we will continue the same chapter. Last class, do you remember what you have studied? We have seen about the Vedas and Varnas. And also we have seen that the early people, those who were started to have a settled life. Before they were hunter-gatherers, then they moved on to farming and they became they started a settled life. A civilization started. So here today we are going to see how the new kingdoms or the new Janpadas emerged in the ancient India. The people, they were living in groups and these groups were called Jana. And the leader of these groups were called Rajas. Later these Rajas, they performed one ritual called Ashwamedha or horse sacrifice. Here a horse was let loose to wander free and it was guarded by the Raja's men. If the horse wandered into the kingdom of other Rajas and they stopped it, they had to fight. If they allowed the horse to pass, it means that they accepted that the Raja who wanted to perform the sacrifice was stronger than them. And in this ritual, the Raja was a center figure. Along with Raja, his family members, his wife, sons also were there to perform this ritual called Ashwamedha or horse sacrifice. After performing this Ashwamedha, these Rajas, they expanded their territory or their area and they were known as Janpadas. The famous Janpadas, for example, Purana Kila in Delhi, Hastinapur and Aranji Khera in Uttar Pradesh. Later on, these Janpadas expanded more. They became more important and they were known as Mahajanpadas. These Mahajanpadas had a capital city. There were 16 Mahajanpadas in total.
It is the 6th century BC. The later Vedic period was about to end in India. It is the time for Janpadas and Mahajanpadas. Indo-Aryans moved from different stages. That is, the evolution took place from the nomadic hunter-gatherers to farmers and finally to the settled community. The Rajas who performed Ashwamedha or horse sacrifices were now recognized as being Rajas of Janpadas. Literally means the land where the Jana or people set its foot and settled down. The most prominent Janpadas were Magadha, Vatsa, Avanti and Kausala. People lived in huts and kept cattle as well as other animals. They also grew a variety of crops like rice, wheat, barley, pulses, sugarcane and mustard. They made earthen pots. Some Janpadas became more important than others and were known as Mahajanpadas. There were 16 Mahajanpadas in total. They were Anga, Magadha, Kasi, Vatsa, Kausala, Saurasena, Panchala, Kuru, Matsya, Chedi, Avanti, Gandhara, Kamboj, Asmaka, Vajji and Malla. Most Mahajanpadas had a capital city. Many of these were fortified. This means that huge walls of wood, brick or stone were built around them. Rajas of these Mahajanpadas built forts for the protection from the attack of other kings. Next, they want to show their power and wealth, and also it was easy to control the people who were living inside this fortified area. The rulers of these Mahajanpadas were building huge forts, maintaining big armies. For all these, they needed more resources. For this, they started collecting regular taxes. Taxes were on crops, on craft persons. Herders were also expected to pay taxes in the form of animals and animal produce. There were taxes on goods that were brought and sold through trade. Hunter and gatherers, they were also had to provide forest produce to Raja. Two major changes in agriculture around this time. Growing use of iron plowshare. Second, people began transplanting paddy. This led to increased production.
Hope you understood about Janpadas and Mahajanpadas. Read the chapter and learn well. Thank you.